Anytime there's any kind of natural disaster or even an individual damage to a property, a lot of times the subject goes to, well, how am I going to file for insurance? What's going to happen to my home value? Well, here's something that's often overlooked. There is a term in insurance contracts called ordinance of law. And what that means is if you have a house that was destroyed by a fire or a hurricane or some other type of disastrous event, you're going to file an insurance claim, and your home will have been valued based on certain criteria. For example, if you have a 2,000 square foot home, they're going to say how much per square foot does it cost to build it, and they're going to give you a certain dollar amount. What's going to happen is you're going to find that that dollar amount won't be able to rebuild the house in the current market. You might be able to have theoretically built a house like what you had, that older house, but the laws may have changed for permitting, zoning, different types of construction requirements. Like you might have to have tapcons in the floor joist. You might have to have certain roof bracing. You might have to have more fireproofing. The rules and laws that were in place when your house was built will probably have changed in the last 15, 20, 30, 40 years. So your new house is going to need to have updated and upgraded features. Maybe the electrical has to be more well developed. And what happens with that is if you have a house that is destroyed, you might have to cover the difference. And this is where this article comes in saying the equity is gone. So for example, if you had a house that was worth, let's say, $500,000, you had a mortgage that was $250,000, you had $250,000 in equity. Your video will be back in 8 seconds. In the meantime, remember, you have access to live one-on-one consultation, undivided attention of a licensed certified expert in this subject and many others. We want to listen to your story. We want to hear your questions and give you expert advisement of your options. We want to tell you what we know about your situation and what options you have. Now back to your video. Well, you might only get $300,000 from your insurance company. You might have to kick in another couple $100,000 to finish building the house up to code. Sometimes it requires like a new septic tank or new utilities or new foundation. Remember, part of the value of your home is also in the lot. So they're not going to account for that because your lot doesn't get destroyed. They're not going to give you the part to rebuild the house. And taking a look at your insurance policy to see what your coverage is for ordinance of law is important, because you may want to upgrade your coverage so you can rebuild to current standards, not to older standards, because you may not be allowed to build to older standards. And even if you are, you're going to have an older house in a new neighborhood. So anytime you have a claim on your house, you can expect to have some losses. And there's a lot of exclusions to coverage, in addition to your deductible, which you don't get anyways. But there might be things like debris removal, toxic waste. If you had a fuel tank that spilled, they may not cover that. They may not cover all of your personal effects if it's in excess of a certain amount. So you want to make sure that you look at what your coverages actually will pay for and make accommodations that say, well, I have cash and I'll take care of that myself. Or if you want to purchase additional coverage for those things, you can talk to your agent about that. But don't go in blind. Know these things in advance. Know them before you have an event on your property, because once you have some type of a claim, you can't change your coverages then. So ordinance of law is an important term. Ask your agent or broker about it. Or if you want to do some consultation with one of our licensed agents, we can do that using the link below. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can access live one-on-one personal consultations with a licensed private investigator, a licensed commercial insurance broker, licensed certified real estate title examiner, also a certified civil court mediator. So if you have a need to talk to an expert in any of these fields, or even a licensed building general contractor, you can click the link below, actualhuman.com, and arrange a live one-on-one undivided attention with a licensed expert where you can ask any questions, get information about your situation, and we'd be glad to help.